Hi there. Welcome to video walkthrough of ChatStart, an application that helps you ideate, explore, and generate code for ChatGPT integration with your app. As you visit our website, which is chatstart.streamlit.app, you can sign up to be on the waitlist by clicking on this button here. Provide any promo code or license keys that you may have received, and we will get back to you at the earliest. For now, let's walk through what will happen once you get the login and go through some of the application features. As you know, right now, before login, the features are disabled, but let's enable those very quickly. Right. So we're now logged in, and we will start by exploring the first idea, which is DALI Expert Artist as a chatbot. So click on that button, and you can start exploring a custom chatbot that has been created for you based on a system prompt that guides what that chatbot is supposed to do, and a few sample prompts to get you started. So for now, I'm going to change the movie that I want to base this image on to, let's say, Dune, and continue chatting with the ChatGPT in the background. So it's asking me if I'm looking for a specific kind of cityscape. I'm going to continue customizing this prompt in a very natural chat-like experience. Let's go for vibrant colors here. And the idea is that as part of my chat experience, I'm able to generate the image. Of course, before that, a prompt for it, um, and all within the context of this particular chat. So maybe a few more questions. Let's do nighttime, and this should hopefully generate the prompt that we're looking for. There you go. So there's a prompt, which is a bustling futuristic city at night during with towering skyscrapers. So it looks a bit sort of comic bookish. So let's make a few changes to this image. So make it photorealistic. Uh, Base it on uh, the movie Blade Runner, wide angle shot, uh, light rain, moody. Um, okay, let's try this. So right now we're fixing a bug where there is an intermediate image that's generated before the new prompt gets created. So hopefully by the time we try this, we would have fixed that. So there you go. That's a much better result. And as you can see, we created a photorealistic wide-angle shot of a futuristic city inspired by the movie Blade Runner, and it copied most of the content based on the Q&A that we had previously over some maintained context within the context of this chatbot, and we were able to generate this very nice image. Of course, ChatStart saves this image for you, and in future we will have capabilities where you could reuse this image for other purposes and so on. So for now, let's continue ideating, and let's try a simpler example where we want to simulate um, a particular tool or an application, in this case, the Mac terminal. So let's say you don't remember all the complex commands that you could run on the Mac terminal, and you want to just use plain English to help you with some of these terminal commands. So in this case, I want to parse the paragraphs of a page into a text file. Um, and as I click this, it generates that particular command for me. So as you can see, this experience is way different from the previous experience, not just the look and feel, but also the response that you're getting from ChatGPT. Now, let's say you're interested in copying this chatbot over to your application. All you need to do is click on Generate Tutorial with Code, and it creates a very basic step-by-step copy this code. So you can just click on this icon over here and paste it into your notebook or into your Python or Streamlit app. And then what it's suggesting is just replace this particular comment over here with this list over here, um, or dictionary, and and again you'll copy it to the clipboard and paste it to replace it. What this does is it takes this data structure from the conversation that you've had here. You can obviously customize it as you feel, but that's all that is needed to generate a custom chatbot to do this particular activity. So let's try something a little bit more useful, which is, let's say you want to create a shopping recommendation engine based on personal preferences. So in this case, the user has already shared that they're an artist, an avid gamer, an audiophile, and living in a loft apartment, and they're looking for a smart TV. So as you click on this, what we are doing in the background is we're integrating with Google APIs to actually provide current information about a particular product and links that you can click on to go ahead and research this product more or buy it. So in this case, we're integrating the Chat GPT model, which is trained on um, sometime I think late September or 2021 data. So it won't have the most current information, but then you're layering that on top of recent data from the web to get to more current information. And you can keep going and say, how about some headphones? So it should remember your context in terms of what your interests are and preferences, and be able to recommend um, the right set of headphones for you. In this case, it's asking you for some questions. So let's go for over ear. I haven't specified a budget, so let's see how it responds. Okay, so it's actually gone with that response. And then let's look at high-end hi-fi as well to match. And this should go straight into the recommendation without asking any further questions, hopefully. Yeah, there you go. So, so yeah, you can turn ChatGPT into a shopping recommender with this particular example. Again, when you say generate tutorial code, in this case, it's actually taking the prompts that we've set up for you for the shopping recommender instead, um, as opposed to the previous case where it was a Mac terminal. Um, so let's switch on some entertainment. In this case, we want to watch the official trailer of the movie Matrix. And as you can see, browse the media in place. Um, change to movie deal with link. Right, there you go. So, so yeah, you could use it to browse in place videos. Um, what if you want to simulate an expert? So in this case, we're simulating a doctor who's symptomatically going to diagnose this particular user. And of course, this can be used for learning purposes. So in this case, you're coming up with the diagnosis, and you could similarly ask it for basic information about, over-the-counter medicines in terms of dosage, side effects, and drug interactions. There you go. As you can see, it's changing the user experience based on the idea that you've selected. So that's all inbuilt. Um, so here's an interesting one where what we're doing is we're using Stable Diffusion model to actually create a story generator. So as you go along, as the story progresses, it creates visuals for you. So let's call the spaceship, uh, let's say Metro, uh, explore a distant planet. Okay, so there's a prompt based on the start of that story that you've suggested, and it's coming up with a comic booky sort of example. Um, and then we need some aliens, and we'll stick to the comic book theme. There you go. So there's an intermediate image generation, and then hopefully in the next image we're meeting some aliens. So the crew is greeted by an alien civilization and fascinated by humans and technology. And you can carry on, and the story will continue to get generated for you. Um, let's try something maybe work related. So um, here's a natural language based analytics tool that you can build using ChatGPT. So first we'll set up a data set from world knowledge that ChatGPT already carries. So let's try to get a list of 10 most popular cities in the world. And then what type of chart? Let's say we want a pie chart. And what kind of label or value we can say you decide. Uh, Again, let the ChatGPT decide. Color preferences, vibrant, full spectrum. So based on these inputs, it should generate the code required for Vega Lite chart creation. And in turn, the ChatStart application should be able to render that code into an interactive chart. And you can actually continue with your querying. You can change the data sets that this chart is based on, or you can change the chart itself. So change it to bar chart. So this is fairly valuable. And in the background, of course, we will capture the chart data and the data sets that's generated so that you have programmatic access to both. In this case, we encountered some bug in the code, which you could actually fix um, as well. But for now, let's move on to another example where we are actually going to generate a data set interactively. Let's say you're starting a data science project on tallest buildings of the world, and you're looking for a custom data set to use with your Jupyter notebook. So you can actually ask ChatGPT to create that data set for you. right here. It has height, and this data set is actually an interactive pandas data frame that's been generated, so you can sort it, and we can even enable editing of the data set at some point. But for now, let's add to the data set. So add floors, and let's say construction type. So again, it remembers the context, and it just simply adds to the data set that it has already generated for you. And there you go. So there's now a data set with height, floors, construction type, as a pandas data frame, which is available programmatically to the backend app. The other thing to observe is, as we did all of this, we're tracking the various APIs which are being used, and at some point we will also introduce a way of tracking cost, because it does cost to use most of these APIs. So having a sense of cost of using these large language models while you're exploring these different ideas will be useful. Of course, feel free to leave feedback. We will continue to add more ideas, and I hope you enjoy using ChatStart. Thank you.